All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and to the Achians who are out there pushing this truth. To you I salute. I want to do this brief lesson on Exodus 21, verse 5 and 6. Exodus 21, verse 5 and 6. Okay? And it states, "And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I would not go free." Okay? So, in this case, if a servant desires to be with his master after working for a period of 6 years, is completed, after that 6 year is completed, his master, and if he desires to be with his master, all right, he say he love his master, all right, this is what will take place next, and we would go to Deuteronomy, for this clarification, we go to Deuteronomy 15 and 16. Deuteronomy 15 and 16. 17, Salakia. "Then thou shalt take an owl and thrust it through his ear, into the door, and he shall be thy servant forever. And also unto thy male servant thou shalt do likewise." So an owl is thrust through his ear, and he shall become the possession, an everlasting possession of that owner, So the piercing of the ear at the doorpost with the owl act as a permanent visible mark of his voluntary, a voluntary symbol of ownership, so he voluntaries to be owned by his master, and that which happens aforetime, that would happen, in the Bible days of the Old Testament, exists today, And to go to the next precept, let's go to Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. Ecclesiastes 3 and 15, which states, "That which had been is now, and that which is to be had already been. And Yahweh required that which is past." Yahweh require it, that which is past. That which was in the past exists today, exists now, and that which is to be, that which is to come, had already been. That which is to come, that has already been. For instance, coming prophecies such as the mark, that has already been. In the form of an owl. Let's go to the next precept, which is Baruch 3 and 8, which state, "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, which thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subjected to payment according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power." We are yet this day in the hands of our possessor, who is in the process of tagging us. Those who desire his ownership, those who claim that they love their master, they love Esau, Edom, this white man who possessed us, they are willing to make a covenant with him, okay, and they are snared by him to be his property, okay, to be a shame and disgrace to the nation of Israel, and to be put to death by him. All right, that is what this mark, okay, that they, okay, will desire of Esau, saying they love Esau, they love their master, okay, and want to make an everlasting covenant with Esau, okay. That is what this is. So we going from the Al to the Ma. Okay, the next precept we're going to go to is Jeremiah 14, Jeremiah, Salakia 2. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 14. All right, Jeremiah 2 and 14. And it states, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Why is Israel, okay, who has already, okay, been redeemed by the blood of Yahweh, why is he still being held captive? Why is that Israel, why is it that Israel is yet still a servant when his salvation, his redemption was already paid for with Yahushai's blood, okay, with the blood of Yahushai Mashiach? However, Israel, greater portion, okay, the 2/3 desire to be under Esau rulership. They desire to be possessed by Esau. They desire to take this this Al, okay, of Esau, okay. The next precept we're going to go to is Revelation 16 and 13. Let's go to Revelation, brief lesson, chapter 16, chapter 13, Salakia, Revelation 13 and 16. Okay? And it states, and he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Okay? Esau, the devil the Bible speaks of, will cause all people, nations, okay, language and tongue, free and bond, rich and poor, to receive this mark, to receive, okay, this representation of an Al, okay, to be tied as his possession, okay, to claim ownership, okay, of Israel, mainly Israel, okay, because the precept said in Isaiah 10 and 22, 2/3 of Israel shall not return, 2/3 of Israel shall be cut off and die, okay, because they received this mark, they received this Al, okay, like the Al they received by their possessor in the okay, Old Testament, in the biblical days. All right, this is what is to be, okay, because that which has been is now, and that which is to be, that which has already been, okay, Salakia, that which had been is now, and that which is to be has already been, okay, that which is to be, okay, has already been. The Most High required that which is past, okay. I hope this lesson was edifying and has served its purpose. Shalom.